Howdy, folks. This is Alan with today's news. And what I got for you right here is a Russian commander admits we don't have the resources to win war, and nuclear is only option. It's one commander here, a Russian military cooperative, and Ukraine says conventional methods will not be enough, so the use of nuclear weapons is the only way left to win the war. Let's see, Vladimir Putin launched the provoked invasion of Ukraine back in February and was hoping for a quick win against its eastern neighbor, Newsweek reported. 10 months into the conflict, Ukrainian defenses are seemingly to only get stronger. Ukraine is taking its territory back and inch by inch from the Russian invaders. See, this one commander here says the Russian militia of the Donetsk region is in Ukraine. He was a guest on Russian state TV where he joined via an online call while still wearing his military uniform and shared a grave situation report and an ominous threat. Everyone realizes that the next spiral of escalation can only be the nuclear stage of war. Confrontation with NATO. Throughout the war in Ukraine, the war was witnessed as escalation of nuclear rhetorics between Russia and the West by trading threats about the use in an attack of nuclear attacks. According to Newsweek, he believes that Ukraine and NATO are joint enemies, and his uh, perception of defeating the Western alliance and winning the war could be achieved only with the use of nuclear weapon. We don't have the ability. We're a country which is now fighting an entire Western world, and we don't have the resources to defeat the NATO bloc. But we have nuclear weapons for that. We built them especially for such situation. That is why there is only one option. Putin, in a recent statement, hinted that Russia's policy on the use of nuclear weapons could change from one where they rely on nukes only after an attack to a situation where they would use the nukes if they feel an imminent threat is upon them. Nevertheless, in a panel discussion of experts for the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, Polina Zinovitz, head of the Odessa Center for Non-Proliferation, said that she does not believe Putin wants to use nukes. For Putin, this war is a game of a chicken, and he just closed the door for himself for any kind of defeat. This is the most concerning thing for me because I still don't think that he wants to use nuclear weapons. However, at some point, if he will feel himself trapped, he will do it. I still believe that Putin is rational. He has a fear he may lose Russia. The costs and benefits are still on the table because having Ukraine is not worth losing Russia. Let me turn my screen here. I got some sunshine in here. Uh, what I can say here that he's trying to talk big, the way Trump was doing before, and trying to make everybody back down. And he probably really don't want to go to Russia. I mean, the nukes, but if he does, he will do it. He will. That's his last straw to pull. And what else I got here for you? This is from Newsweek. Russia lashed out at the U.S. on Friday, accusing the State Department of impotent Malice over fresh sanctions imposed against the Russian oligarch and ally of President Putin. The Russian embassy in the U.S. issued a scathing statement shortly after Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said Washington had imposed sanctions on Vladimir Putin, one of Russia's wealthiest oligarchs and a close associate of Putin, in response to Russia's full-scale invasion in Ukraine. The United States continued to impose costs on Russia for its war of aggression against Ukraine. Blinken said that in a statement, Russia attacks have devastated Ukraine critical infrastructure and caused extraordinary death and destruction. Blinken said the State Department would impose sanctions on the nickel tycoon Putin, as well as his 3 members of his immediate family and his company. Okay, let's switch news. I had to close the blind here because there was too much sunshine coming in here. We haven't had the sun in a few days. This is from the Daily Dot. Don't even open it. Amazon customer warns of new UPS delivery text scam circulating this holiday season. A woman on TikTok is warning her followers to be wary of scammers trying to schedule redeliveries online orders during the holiday season. Yeah, this happens all the time. The TikToker Gigi says in one of her recent videos that she encountered one such scammer and almost fell for their trick. Now she feels like it's her duty to warn everyone else. First of all, in emails and texts, you don't click a link from anybody you don't know. And if you think it's like from the Amazon or post office, you go to the Amazon or post office site. Never click a link from a text or email. In this video, Gigi says she has been trying to return a pair of slippers that she ordered online through Amazon, but because of the high influx of holiday orders, Amazon hasn't been able to pick up her package for return. The TikToker says she has repeatedly received failed delivery notification through the Amazon app that she knows are legit. Then she got a text message that appeared to be from Amazon asking her to reschedule her delivery. Gigi says she was distracted when she got the message and didn't think twice about clicking on the link in the text. The link took her to an application form for redelivery. Gigi says she began filling it out until she realized that it asked for her credit card information for a redelivery charge. Immediately, I knew this was a sketch. And I'm an idiot, Gigi says in the video. Let me play this video here.
I feel like it's my citizenly duty to warn everybody about the scam that's going around. With the holiday season, I'm sure everybody's doing a lot of online shopping, and scammers have picked up on this. I've had these stupid little Amazon slippers that the mailman hasn't been able to get to me, so I keep getting these failed delivery notifications on Amazon, and that's legit. So yesterday I get a text from UPS saying, "Hey, let's reschedule your delivery." So I'm like, "Oh yeah, for sure." And I was distracted. I was like doing something else. And I clicked on this link and I started filling out this form for redelivery. And then it asked for your credit card number for like $1.99 redelivery fee. And like immediately I knew this was sketch and I'm an idiot. Both UPS, USPS, Amazon, all of that say they will never reach out to you demanding a charge for redelivery. And it looked really legit. It took you to a website that looks identical to UPS. So if you get one of these texts, abort mission, don't even open it, block the number.
Yeah, and they made it sound, like, oh, a dollar something. Yeah, I can do that. No, that's where they get your credit information, your card information. See what else we got here. This is from the Washington Post. The reader was right. American gun violence is not a tragedy. It's the easiest word we reach for to describe things we often find indescribable, especially for politicians. We have a horrific tragedy overnight at UVA. Lives were lost, family changed forever. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin tweeted after the shooting there last month, "We can't and won't prevent every tragedy," said Biden. He's not a president. After the schoolhouse massacre in Uvalde, Texas, as he strained for the right words to look for solutions. Our thoughts are with the families and everyone enduring another senseless tragedy. Farmer Barack Obama tweeted after the 2017 mass killing in a concert in Las Vegas. Tragedy I've used for words hundreds of times over decades, spent grappling with the precise words for human suffering. Most recently, when I wrote about the 10-year anniversary of the massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary. You can read about the rest of these in my description box. I'll have a link in there, and hopefully they all work. See, what's this one here? This is from a place called Pop Sugar. The link between severe COVID and exercise is even stronger than we thought. Doctors have long said that exercising can describe the risk of severe outcomes of COVID-19, like hospitalization and death, but it's never quite been clear how much exercise is necessary to those effects. Will one or two workouts a week suffice? Or do you need to be working up a sweat every day to lessen your risk of severe COVID? A new study released in the American Journal of Prevention of Medicine admit to find out, looking at how different amounts of exercise affects outcomes have of COVID among a large sample size of patients. The research published December 14th analyzed health records of over 194,000 adult patients at Kaiser Permanente in Southern California, all of whom were diagnosed with COVID-19 between January 2020 and May 2021. The patients were asked to evaluate their own levels of physical activity prior to infection and were separated into 5 subgroups based on their response. And you're going to read the rest of this. And this reminds me of another story here. Let me see if I can pull it up here. After my slow internet loads up. It's not my slow internet, it's my slow computer, or what it is. Need to get a new one. It's free. And see what we got here. This one right here. Can't make this newscast too long. My girlfriend got mad at me. It says sudden death after COVID shots.
From Germany. It looked at people who died suddenly and unexpectedly within 20 days after receiving a COVID-19 vaccination. This has just been published in Clinical Research in Cardiology, and as always, there's a link below to the study in the description. Now, what did these people die of? First, I want to give you some background. I've reported on numerous studies looking at myocarditis and pericarditis after vaccination on my channel. We know that the incidence of this seems to be on the order of about 1 in 5,000 in young males after the second vaccination with Moderna, but it's less common with other vaccines, and it's also less common in females and other male age groups. Many countries have not used Moderna vaccine in people under the age of 30, and a number of countries have delayed the second shot further away from the first to reduce the chance of myocarditis. Now, some have said that the risk of myocarditis for COVID-19 is actually greater than the risk of myocarditis from vaccination. But this is not true if you look at a large study from the UK or...
And you can watch the rest of this. The link will be in my description. And let me get back to my other news here. Let's see. Here's another scam thing here. This will be my last report for today. No, it won't. I'm going to have one more after this one. This may be a little bit longer one. FBI, this is from Best Life. FBI issues a new warning about the latest scam designed to steal your money. FBI, see, scams are rampant during the holiday season, and anyone who has fallen for one knows they can be as frustrating as they are costly. Local and federal authorities are constantly issuing alerts when new criminal tactics surface, but the current cons and trickier than ever. The Federal Bureau of Investigation just issued a warning about the latest holiday scam, which are designed to steal your money, and lots of it. Read on to find out about the cons and FBI wants to be on the lookout for and how to keep yourself safe. Let's see. Let me click on this one here. If you get a call from these numbers, don't believe your caller ID. FBI says in a new warning. If you've never been called by a scammer or gotten a robocall, consider yourself very lucky. Most of us are plagued by nuclear constant calls from fraudsters, all looking to make a quick buck off of unsuspecting victims. You're probably aware of some common scams conducted through text and emails, but when someone tries to trick you over the phone, it can be more disorientating. Now, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, is warning the public about a new kind of phone scam that's becoming more popular, and it's even fooling your caller ID. Read on to find out more about it. Anyway, you can read the rest of this. The link will be in my description. Now, what I did, I got an iPhone, and I set my phone to do not ring for anyone that's not in my contact list. And I left a voice message, and if this is important, you just leave a message. And then, some of them don't leave a message. I get calls from all over the world. My phone don't ring, don't bother me. And I don't worry. I just put them on, and I just block the number. And I got a lot of block numbers. Okay, this next one will be my last one. I promise. My voice starting to go out. This is from USA Today. Small town Iowa police chief charged with lying to ATF to get 90 machine guns for a department with 3 officers. Now, why does she need 90 machine guns with only 3 police officers? A small Iowa town of 800 residents likely has no need for a police force armed with 90 machine guns to keep the peace. It must be a very bad town. That at least is the view of federal prosecutors who on Wednesday announced an indictment of Adair Chief of Police Bradley Wint on charges of making false statements to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives to obtain numerous machine guns over a 4-year period on behalf of the Adair Police Department, which during Wint tenure has never had more than 3 officers. Instead, according to the prosecutors, weapons were resold for profit through Went private gun store or another store owned by a friend who is also facing charges. According to court findings in a press release on the U.S. Attorney's Office, Went used his position as police chief to obtain 10 machine guns for the official use of the police department, but later resold at least 6 of those weapons for significant profit. In addition, Went obtained 13 guns for his Denison and Anita-based gun store BW Outfitters, under the pretense that they were to be used as demonstration models for potential future purchases by the department. Another 10 weapons were obtained in the same manner for Williams Contracting, a business Williams owned that is federally licensed as a firearms dealer. Yeah, I tell you. Anyway, you can read the rest of this. The link will be in my description box, and hopefully it's clickable. Anyway, hope you like what I read and stuff, and I'll get better at talking. I'm the kind of person that don't talk a lot anyway, so this is something new to me. And like, share, comment, and try to be safe. Beware of the scammers. People try to grab your stuff at the stores, and try to stay safe. See ya.